By the end of this tutorial, you will have another valuable tool to add to your persuasive writing toolkit. Today, you will learn how to use high-modality words. Confused? You won't be. High-modality words can be used to make your argument stronger and more convincing. Let's get started. Modal verbs are powerful tools for persuasion. But what are they? Modal verbs, also known as auxiliary verbs or helping verbs, are used alongside a main verb to give a little extra information. I might buy a new phone. In this sentence, might is the modal verb and buy is the main verb. Why use them? Modal verbs have many uses, but in persuasive writing, they serve two main functions. They express the likelihood of something happening. They indicate the importance of something. Compare the difference between these two sentences. You will catch a fish. You might catch a fish. Will suggests that there is a strong likelihood of catching a fish. Might suggests the likelihood is much less. You must see a doctor. You could see a doctor. Must indicates that seeing a doctor is very important. Could suggests that it's not so important. So the modal verbs we use completely change how the sentence is interpreted. Modal verbs that express a strong likelihood of something happening or indicate that something has a high degree of importance are known as high-modality verbs. Here are some examples. Must, shall, will, have to, ought to, need to, should. Those modal verbs that show there is less likelihood of something happening or indicate that something has a low degree of importance are known as low-modality verbs. They include might, could, may, can. When it comes to persuasion, high-modality verbs are far more persuasive than low-modality ones. Why is this? Well, firstly, high-modality verbs display confidence. When you use words like must or have to, it shows you're very sure about what you're saying. People are more likely to believe you if you sound confident. Secondly, they elevate the importance of something. If you say must instead of might, it sounds like there's no other option. This not only grabs your attention, but makes you feel like you should do what you've been told to do. Finally, high-modality verbs create urgency. They make people feel like they need to act quickly. They motivate your audience to do what you're suggesting right away. Low-modality verbs have the opposite effect. They express uncertainty and a lack of confidence. They also make things seem low in priority. Let's pretend a teacher wants to persuade his class to study for a test. If he was to use a low-modality verb like might, I don't think his message would be very persuasive. You might study for the test. But look what happens when we replace the low-modality verb with a high-modality one. You must study for the test. Or, you have to study for the test. These are far more persuasive. Let's try another example. This time, a mum is wanting to persuade her son to clean his room. You could tidy your room. This will make him feel that he has an option. It suggests that cleaning the room is not that important. But add a high-modality verb and see what happens. You need to tidy your room. Now, the mum's elevated the importance of the task, so the boy better start cleaning. So whenever you are writing to persuade, use high-modality verbs. They make a tremendous difference. The Javan rhino will become extinct if we don't act now. You need to watch the new Will Ferrell movie. It's so funny. You have to see the dinosaur exhibit in the Natural History Museum. Advanced use of modal verbs. Sometimes, when you're trying to persuade someone, it's smart to mention a few points that go against your argument. This shows you understand different points of view, and it can make your own arguments seem stronger. If you only focus on your side, people might not fully believe you. When you do mention any counter-arguments, use low-modality words to help downplay their importance. For example, let's imagine I'm arguing that self-driving cars are safer than human-driven cars. I'm going to mention that accidents do still happen with driverless vehicles, but I want to reduce the importance of this point. There may be the occasional incident with driverless vehicles, but they eliminate the main cause of accidents, human error. Using the low modality may has made this point seem unimportant for my audience. Pretty clever, hey? In conclusion, whenever you are writing to persuade, use high modality verbs to make your point seem more convincing. Use low modality verbs to play down the counter arguments that the audience might be thinking about. For other great persuasive writing tips, don't miss this tutorial. And if you found this video useful, make sure to subscribe to my channel. There are many more tutorial videos available that will help take your writing skills to the next level.